Honorable Speaker, it is through the spirit of ongoing engagements on critical matters that we shall be a nation at one. The ANC commits to the people of South Africa that we shall isolate and root out corrupt tendencies in the public and private sectors. We echo the sentiments shared by President Ramaphosa. We open quotes, Amasela achoncha imali kahulumeni mawabanjwe. We are with you there. Delegates to the 54th National Conference committed themselves to play a more proactive role in enhancing the values and integrity of the movement and society to act decisively where there are breaches.
Point of order.
Honorable Ndlozi, what's the point of order? Take your seat, Honorable Chief Whip.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. The President Ramaphosa never said that sentence, ever. So the Honorable Chief Whip is deliberately misleading the House. Honorable Ramaphosa never said, he was too scared to say Amabosho Mawabanje.
No,
Amasela Mawabanje.
Honorable Member.
He deliberately jumped that line when he was reading his speech.
Ndlozi.
So Honorable Jackson Mutembu must not mislead the country and the people of South. That line is not there.
Seat, Honorable Ndlozi.
It's not true.
Let Honorable Chief Whip continue.
This year, as we celebrate the centenary of the birth of Utata Nelson Mandela, our icon, we shall intensify our efforts to realize his vision of a united South Africa in which all live in peace with equal rights and opportunities. We shall renew our focus on Comrade Mandela's vision of a non-racial society in which the social and economic barriers that have separated black from white are broken down. We shall redouble our efforts to build a society in which black poverty and white privilege are consigned to the past, replaced by respect, solidarity, and non-racial equality. We shall place at the top of our agenda Madiba's vision of a non-sexist society in which the oppression and exploitation of women, whether in the workplace, in communities, or in the home, is eradicated. We shall make it our daily mission to work towards a society where women do not live in fear for their lives, where our daughters, I've got many, can walk the streets at night without fear of violence meted against them. We shall work to rekindle Madiba's vision of a democratic society in which all citizens have equal opportunity to determine their own destiny. While it is undeniable that the ANC has made significant strides in meeting the basic needs of our people, it is equally true that the legacy of colonialism and apartheid still remains deeply entrenched in our society. We therefore require a program of fundamental and radical socio-economic transformation that will ensure that, in the words of President Mandela, political freedom goes side by side, I open quotes, with freedom from hunger, want, and suffering. Fundamentally, we are determined to build an economy that reverses apartheid injustices and corrects continuing patterns of deprivation and inequality. It is for this reason that the resolution adopted at our 54th National Conference of the ANC focused on the measures we need to take now to significantly advance growth, development, and transformation. What does this then mean for our work here in Parliament? For the remainder of this fifth Parliament, in context of our new dawn, as heralded by our President's speech, renewed hope and optimism, things need to continue to change in the direction we have been driving for the past 2 years. Kufanele zijike izinto ngempela. The leadership we are calling for must be one of a principled nature across political parties, where ethics and integrity are the dominant factor and not narrow party politics. As Parliament, we must not and cannot ever be found on the side of having done wrongdoing under our watch. We as public representatives, we carry the hopes and aspirations of the people who elected us into office. We dare not fail them. Public representatives here in the People's Tribune should undertake their responsibilities with efficiency, diligence, and integrity, and without fear or favor. By example, we need to lead, instill a new discipline to do things correctly, to do them completely, and to do them timelessly, so that the activist parliament that the ANC speaks of achieves even greater outputs that have a qualitative and positive impact on the lives of our people. Accountability and performance set out in the station address will require even greater oversight and capacity if the objectives of the commitments outlined by the President are to be met. These commitments are not some abstract, reduced to fielding questions to the President on a quarterly basis. These commitments directly involve this Parliament to be able to execute its constitutional responsibilities to the maximum through oversight, research, analysis of reports, and connecting with our people at a far higher level. This will have to be driven by empirical evidence, taking decisions on the balance of this empirical evidence, enhancing and cutting-edge support to members in a manner that Parliament is a reflection of strategic value add as an arm of state. For this to happen, Parliament cannot continue to be treated as a government department, whilst it is an arm of state. We are thus calling for the review of the funding methodology for all three arms of the state, wherein funding of Parliament is not dependent on the very same executive arm of state it ought to be conducting oversight over. It is through the repositioning of Parliament as a strategic value-add arm of state that we too can join into the hymn of the legendary Huma Sigela of Tumami, especially because as Parliament, sithunywe ngumzansi Afrika ukuthi sibahole abantu basemzansi to the promised land that Madiba envisioned. The independence of Parliament as an arm of state remains sacrosanct. We must therefore review the role of the State Security Agency in the business of Parliament. Though something as minute as the assistance of the State Security Agency during Sona might not be an issue in itself, it does, however, speak to the total and complete independence of Parliament as a separate arm of state. The integrity of state bodies that report to Parliament must receive heightened and vigorous oversight so that they perform their function both in the interest of the state but also in the interest of the masses of our people. Within the era of hope and optimism, Parliament must bring an end to fruitless, wasteful, and non-expenditure by government departments and entities. A total of 127.979 billion in irregular expenditure was uncovered by the Auditor General from 2013-2014 till the 2016-2017 financial years. These monies wasted by careless and corrupt people in government could have gone towards funding free higher education for the poor. It is for this reason that Parliament will, in the next coming weeks, finalize legislation which seeks to give the Auditor General more teeth to decisively deal with those who waste our hard-earned taxpayers' money, with an intention of having such monies recouped and those responsible being held personally liable. The integrity of SARS, state-owned enterprises, and government departments must resign